And well, this is the agenda for today's webinar. As you can see, we have logging into ShareFile account, exploring your dashboard, understanding the user interface, sending and requesting files, folder access and permissions, sending documents for e-signature, adding employee and client users, and reviewing personal settings. And well, now let's demo. First of all, I would like to show you how to access to your ShareFile account. Let me show you how it looks like. In my case, my ShareFile subdomain is michaelvargas.sharefile.com. If I hit enter, I will be able to see my login page. But guess what? There's another way in order to access your ShareFile account as well. And it is by accessing to sharefile.com. Once you access to sharefile.com, at the upper right corner, you will be able to see this login option. If you click there, ShareFile will ask you for your subdomain. And please keep in mind that the subdomain is the information that is before the .sharefile.com. So in my case, would be Michael Vargas. This is the process you need to follow in order to access ShareFile. What happens if you don't recall what your ShareFile subdomain is? Let me tell you that we have a process that we can follow in order to get this information back. And let me show you how to do it. What you just need to do is go back to sharefile.com, click again to log in, and on this particular screen, you will be able to see this option that says, don't know your account subdomain? You need to click there, and after that, the system will ask you for the email address that is associated to your account. In my case, my email address will be michael.vargas@sharefile.com. Once you do that, you need to follow with the CAPTCHA, and once completed, the system will send an email with your subdomain or list of subdomains where you belong to. And let me show you how it looks like. Once you click on continue, and if you go to your email address, this screen or this email will show you a list of subdomains, or will show you the subdomain where you belong to. Okay, in my case, the information that I need is the first one. michaelvargas.sharefile.com is my subdomain. We can see the last sign in and also the name, and after that the system will redirect you to the login page. Okay, now let me log into my ShareFile domain. So what I need to do is put my email address here. That is michael.vargas@sharefile.com. You can hit enter or click on continue. And now the system will ask you for the password. However, what happens if you don't recall what the password is? Okay, you will have available this option that says forgot password. If you click there, first of all, you need to complete the CAPTCHA. And once completed, the system will send you a password reset link. Okay, let me show you how it looks. I will receive this email with the password reset link that I mentioned. And this is the screen that you are going to see once you receive the email from ShareFile. What you just need to do is click where it says reset your password. And after that, you will be able to set a new password. It is important to follow the password rules from these spots. So you need to use at least 8 characters, one special character, at least one number, one lowercase letter, one uppercase letter. So we need to keep that in mind. So let me set a new password really quick. Okay, and once you select a new password, you need to click on reset password. Once you do that, you will be able to click on back to sign in, and the system will show you the login page again. So let me access right now with my new password. Okay. Okay. Right now, let me talk about the dashboard itself. The dashboard is the information that we are seeing here at the middle. We have three boxes. Okay, we have recent files. Here you will see the recent activity. Okay, now on the right side we have shortcuts. It is important to let you know that this dashboard is also um, customizable, and the reason it is because you can select or drag, okay, the boxes. Well, we have the edit dashboard option available. Okay, and as you can see, we also have the favorites bots available that you can enable. And let me enable it. You will be able to see the option here at the bottom. Now, at the upper right corner, we have a couple of options such as help. If you click here, okay, you can visit the help center. A couple of options available such as the community. You can click on getting started and it will give you information about how to use ShareFile. We have product documentation. Also, we have the status page. At the bottom right corner, we have this option available that is chat with us. And this option basically allow us to chat with support or with customer service, or for example, if you are facing issues with billing, you can use this tool. Let me go back. We also have catalogs. Okay, so from catalogs we can install some templates. For example, we have a couple of solutions. So if you have industry advantage, we have solutions for accounting, we have solutions for legal, we have solutions for finance. We can install them and we can use this like pre-built platform. Okay. Um, Also, we have integrations. Okay, so it means that there are a couple of applications that we can integrate with ShareFile, for example, QuickBooks, Salesforce. Last but not least, we have templates. Okay, and it is the same process. You will be able to see some templates that you will be able to use on projects. Now, what I'm going to do is show you the options that we have on the left panel. So I'm going to start talking about folders. So if you click on folders, it will display a couple of options such as personal folders, share folders, favorites, filebots, and also the recycle bin. So let me start with personal folders. Once you click on personal folders, it will display your personal space. This is a place where you can create folders, subfolders, and you can also upload files. So imagine that you are working on a project. You can upload the project here, and once completed, you can go ahead and share it with the rest of the team or with the corresponding people. So now let me show you how to create a folder, how to upload a file. What you need to do is click on the plus icon, and now I am going to create the folder first. So once you click on create a folder, of course, we need to give it a name, but also you can add details to the folder, you can add people to the folder, and you can also apply a folder template if needed. For this purpose, I'm going to just give it a name, webinar test, and I'm going to click on create folder. But also you will be able to see these people's tab. If you click there, you will be able to add or remove people from the folder. You can apply folder permissions. As you can see here, we have view, download, download alerts, upload alerts, delete, and also admin permission. Now, I'm going to add one user to this folder, and after that, I'm going to upload a file to this folder too. Add people to folder. Now you need to type the name or email address. I'm going to use Maria Solis as example. You can grant or remove folder permissions. You can enable the folder alerts, and also you can notify the user if you want to, or apply settings to such folders. In this case, I'm going to just click where it says add. Okay, and now the user is added. Okay, now let me go back, and what I'm going to do is upload a file. In order to upload a file, you need to click on the plus icon, click where it says upload, click where it says browse files, and after that select the file you need. In this case, I'm going to upload a picture. Okay, and finally we need to click where it says upload. Once the file is uploaded, you can select the file, and you can download the file if needed. So let me show you how to share a file. If you click on share, you will have two options in order to share this file. The first one will be to send the file to a specific people. If we click here, ShareFile will send an email to those users or to that user that you selected. So we can select Maria Solis one more time. You can modify the subject. You can send a message as well. And also, if needed, you can encrypt this email too. Just to let you know, the link that ShareFile will create is encrypted, but if we enable this option, the body of the message will be encrypted too. Now, just to let you know, we have this edit option available that if you click there, you will be able to modify some security settings. For example, we can allow the recipients to view, download, or if we are uploading like a Office file, we can also apply the edit permission here, or add or grant the edit permission. Also, we can set an expiration date, okay, to never, or we can, for example, select after 1 day. You can disable or enable the required recipients to sign in. If you wanted to make it extra secure, I strongly recommend you to enable this option. You can apply watermarking if needed, and also you can enable the notifications. And now I'm going to show you another option that you can use in order to share this file. You can click where it says create a link, and this is the easier way to do it, because what you need to do is copy the link and paste it whenever you need it. For example, Slack, Outlook, or Gmail. Once the link is created, let me tell you that you can also click on the three dots. You can click where it says edit options, and you can also apply the security settings that we just checked. For example, we can modify the permissions for this file, for example, view, download, or edit. In this case, we can select who can access this link. You can make it public, so everybody with the link will be able to see the files. We can select anyone. Public must enter a name and email. So if you would like to keep like a record, you can select this option. However, if you would like to make it extra secure, you can select the next options: client and employee users after signing in, or employee users after signing in. You can apply also watermarking or enable the notifications. Let me click on save. And now from the share folders tab, let me tell you that you will be able to see all the folders and files that have been shared with you or that you have shared as well. Okay, so this is the content collaboration space. Well, from here, you won't be able to upload files directly to share folders, meaning that you need to create a folder first. So if you click on the plus icon, the only option available is create folders. However, let me tell you that once you create a folder, you can access the folder. In this case, I'm going to access to the test folder. And after that, you will be able to see all the options that we have available, same as the personal folder. So you can add and remove people from the folder, and you can also upload files or create those folders as well. And well, this is the information for share folders. Now let me talk about favorites. If you go to personal folders or share folders, and if you select or click on the start that is next to the folder icon, that folder will appear in the favorites section or in the favorites folder. Let me continue with FileBots. And well, the FileBots is a temporary space where you can store your files. However, let me tell you that this folder has a retention policy set for 180 days, meaning that after that period of time, the files will be automatically deleted. Having said that, if you need to save those files, the process you need to follow is select the file, and after that click on more. You will be able to see the move or copy options where you can transfer those files to personal folders or share folders. If you go to the dashboard, let me tell you that if you click on request files, the default location will be the FileBots. However, you will be able to edit this location and you can select a folder from personal folders or share folders as well. Okay, last but not least, we have the recycle bin. The recycle bin is a temporary folder where deleted files are stored. Let me tell you that you will have 45 days in order to restore those files. After that period of time, the files and folders will be completely deleted and we won't be able to recover those files. So if you need to restore a file or folder that was deleted by mistake, the process you need to follow is select the file and after that click on restore. Next, we have projects. It is important to let you know that they only shown if you have ShareFile Premium or ShareFile Industry Advantage plan. For the purpose of this webinar, I'm not gonna be talking about those features. And the reason is because we will need more time in order to cover all the topics and all the information about projects. And however, let me tell you that we have a couple of sources that we can use in order to get more information. For example, you can access to our YouTube channel. So if you go to YouTube, you can search for ShareFile projects. And you will be able to see this webinar that will tell you how to create the first project and also all details about it. You can also search for the official documentation. So if you go to Google and search for ShareFile projects, okay, we will be able to see this option, and if we access there, the documentation will show us all the steps we need to follow in order to create a project. It will tell us information about permissions, about how to invite users as well. So all the information will be included here. And well, that's all from my end. Now my colleague will continue with the rest of the webinar.
Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to talk about today is going to be signatures. So how we can create a signature, send a document for signature to someone else. Yeah, and what the process is for that. So yeah, without further ado, let's start. So for creating a signature, I have uploaded a few documents here. I did two, but we're going to do some edits to this document so that you can see how the process goes. So this is the end user agreement of Cloud Software Group. You should all be familiar with that, and I'll click on revise, which will bring us to the very step. Okay. So well, once the document is uploaded here into signatures in the first step, now we get to the part where we can put in names for who needs to sign the document. Thing that's very important to note is that we also have a field that we can use as a CC. So for example, instead of a signer, we can just have a viewer, right? So that's an option. I'm not going to do that because it will remove the signing field for this one person. These are aliases for myself so that I can get the email and I can then show you after the creation of the signature how it looks. We can also set a signing order. For that, naturally, we need to have two at least, and then we can move these around, as you can see, okay? I'm going to leave the order as is, and then I'll move on to the next step. Now, if you need to add someone else, you can also just here add another recipient, and so it goes, right? We'll move on to the next step. And this will be the section of where we can start adding fields. As I mentioned, I did a few of those already myself here at the end. A few that we can showcase after the signature is done, but I just wanted to edit this so that you could see the difference of when we add someone else. So for example, here it has a different color, and for Pancho, it's going to be blue color, and then for this alias, it's going to be a yellow one. So that way you will be able to tell more easily who needs to sign what, right? And you will also see this panel come up here on the right side. And I'll give you a couple of options. Well, here it has a clear background, but if you uncheck this, you cannot see anything that's behind it. You can just put a name for identifying it easier, and you can make it require, or you can leave it unchecked, depending on what the needs are for that particular person that's going to be signing. Okay, so for this, it's going to be required. I will take this field out just to make it easier. We have all of these other options here as well. So we have initial state text. We can have a drop down and even a checkbox group, an attachment, which I've already included here. And we'll look at those at the end of our document and how those will look for the person who receives them. So we'll move on to the next step. And yeah, it's just alerting me that no signing fields have been in for Philip. So we're going to continue anyways. And we're going to get to this part. So here it already has a name. It has a name that was, previously selected. So we're not changing this one right here. But you could also, well, this is a very good thing here. You can choose while you're going to be saving this. So you can say, for example, here in shared folders, you can just go ahead and select one of the folders that you would prefer. And yeah, you can just store it there. So in this case, I'm going to select tax returns. So from here, and I'm going to select this folder right here. Okay, even if you wouldn't have the folder that you need exactly, you can just create it from here as well. Give you that option. So we're going to select this folder. The next step, you can put a little note. We can say, please sign this ASAP. You can put an expiration date on this. Quite straightforward. Right now it's 30 days, but you can make it a bit longer depending on what the needs are. We have some added layers of security. One of those is the possibility to put in a passcode. So for this, you can generate one randomly if you wouldn't have one of your preference. But if you do, you can just make that happen and just lots of ones here in this case. The next option is knowledge-based authentication. So this is a security measure in which the system will utilize information recorded by credit monitoring bureaus to ask personalized questions to our signers. So it is important to note that, this information could have been gathered over a large time span. So they do want to, of course, be able to remember those the answers to those questions if we decide to choose this option. If not, we do have the passcode. And then we've got the default settings. So as the word says it, in default, these will stay the way they are once you select them. So it will be remembered for the next document you decide to sign. And here you can, for example, say, well, I want to send someone a reminder weekly, daily, or never. I would leave this in weekly just to avoid the spam. You can also send someone a PDF, an email with the PDF once everything is done. You can allow drawn signatures, but also typed ones. Some folks do have typed signatures they prefer. And then we have this option that we can select, and this will be to differentiate the original document from any photocopies that could eventually be made of the signature. As with many things in ShareFile, you always have this little question mark right next to many options. So feel free to hover your mouse over one of those and you'll see how it will give a little explanation of what it's about. And this will help you, of course, on your adoption journey with ShareFile. You can also allow them to download the document before signing. There's an option you can give. I'd leave this one out. And now we are going to save this. And the document is as we want it, and we'll send a revised request just for me to be able to show you how that email is going to look, right? So let me just open that here on my other screen. I'll be just back with you in a moment. Okay. Okay. Yep, here it is. Okay. So this is how our email would show, right? Just looks like this. And we're going to now open that email up. And we're going to sign it together, right? Now it's opening the section up. Okay, just give me one moment, please. Just going to open up the other link. Okay. I'll have to revise it just one more time, just to make sure that the first recipient is the one that's here on the signature field. Okay. Next step. Next step. Okay, send revise request. Okay, and sorry for that delay. So now we've got here this section, and this is where we're going to put in the PIN number. Okay, so again, that was all ones, and we're going to unlock this. Now we have this little red flag. This will allow us to go all the way to the end without going through the whole contract. So we're clicking this one, and here we have that option. We'll do a quick signature here. Okay, and that's actually my signature. So hey, we'll apply that. Fill in our name. It's going to be Sven Kramer. And here we could upload a file. We'll just do again, just the same end user agreement. Okay, and we'll submit that signature. And that's how the process looks. It is asking me to just log in quickly again. So just going to do that. 1 second. Okay, and that's how it looks. Okay, so that document was signed. If we now click on this, that is how it will look after completion. Okay. And thanks so much for your patience. Sorry for the delay we had there quickly. All right, we'll go back to explaining a few other things. Just a second here. Okay. So our next topic is going to be the inbox. This is a great feature here. And we'll talk a bit about this. So the inbox, as the word says it, well, it's like you're going to have your own mailbox here. So on the received section, you will see every file that was sent to you. And this is when we share files, as my colleague Michael explained, we'll have an option to just share it via a link, but we can also just share that file in an encrypted message. And those encrypted messages that we're sending through ShareFile will be showing up here. Now, a couple of perks of having this option is you can select this, and well, here you can mark it as unread. So just categorize them based on priority like that, or hey, that's something that I always do. Hey, I need to look at this a bit more calmly, so I'll mark it as unread, and I'll come back to it. And that's something you can do. But you can also archive this if you have already seen this, and then these will be moved to the archived section. Now the email is here. If you click on that, you can again move it back to the inbox. You can just move them around if you wish. And you can here view just the information of what was sent. Okay, so this is an option you also have just to view your email. You can compose straight from this section as well. So you can click on compose, and you can select someone from your address book, either if it's a personal or a chat one, which we'll go into seeing what that is in a minute. But you can make a selection out of any of these two. And then with that, as you can see, the email is already encrypted. You can just send that email from this section, edit the subject if you want to, put an additional note for the person receiving it. All that's possible. Okay, and then for the sent items, there is a very good thing that I would love to show everyone. So if you, for example, let's say this was sent with a file in it, so 170 days left, if you would click on this, you can expire that link. So this couldn't be seen as the recalling of an email. For example, if you sent an email out and it did have a link in it that you do not want that person to see because you sent it by mistake, you can just expire that link. And that will render the information that's within the email as unavailable, right? So for this one, we don't want to do that. We'll move on to, oh yeah, there was another option still here. Let's see. And you can, of course, revoke the access for all of these, right? That's also a possibility. Okay. Let's move on to the next subject, which is people. And this is where we get to see, for example, the shared address book, the personal address book as well. Okay. So manage users home. This is the very first tab. Here in this section, we'll have an option to create an employee and create a client. But you can also just, export a list in case you have any of these here. If you click on, for example, employee, it's going to bring you right to this tab. And if you click on client, it's going to take you here. But this gives it a bit more oversight. So for example, we'll click on employees and we'll start creating one. So here we'll say, for example, well, you can put the name here of someone, then the last name, email address. The second step then, and you can of course add as many as you want here in this section, okay, just to simplify things. Now the next step will be user access. So we'll choose, and again, this new employee will consume a license. Let's just be aware of that. So now when you're given this new person access, you're going to select a few options from here. So as you can see, quite some. But just, for example, being able to utilize personal file box. If you want to give them admin permissions, for example, we could say, well, a clear example of an admin permissions is manage folder templates. So preset structure of folders that will be applied every time you create a folder. If you choose that to be so, you could decide to give this new person access to this, or maybe not, right? So access reporting, for example, or edit the account's appearance, right? These will be options that you do want to give only to admins, but we certainly give you that choice here by using this option, okay? Now, the next is a storage location. Now, we do have a designated storage zone that is US East. But depending on where you are, you might want to be with a storage zone that's closer to you. So you could make that choice. If you don't see any one of these enabled, you can just ask our support team, they can enable that, the one that's closest to you. Okay, and the third step and the very last one here is to assign folders. Now, remember, if you don't assign folders straight away in this step, it doesn't matter because you can come back to the folder later on, as Michael explained, and you can add people, to that folder. Same on the distribution groups, which are down here. If you don't add them here, you can always go and create a new one. And then if you have people that are on the same hierarchy level, you could copy the existing folder access from someone else who might be working on the same kind of tasks as this new person that you're adding. So you could just do that from this section, okay? That's going to be the last step of creating employees. For clients, these will be the clients that, the clients don't consume a license. And this is where you can add those clients, okay? So if we add a client, it looks pretty much the same, just with the access that we saw previously a couple of minutes ago, they wouldn't have those options, right? Because they're not admins or have the same amounts of access as our previous subjects, the employees, okay? So you can also just import them massively with Excel. You can do that. And let's just go back here a second. If you already have people added to your clients, you can also just manage them in case you want to edit something. You can click on that cogwheel all the way in the right. And then you see these options as well. You can upgrade them to have a license and be able to make those changes on the account. You can delete them from the folders, add to groups, reset a password, reset the two-step verification, which is a new thing that now admins can do within ShareFile. So you can do that here as well. So just recommend you to go over those options and just play with them to see what we have, okay? We also have prospective clients. Let me talk a bit about that. So the scenario of prospective clients will be when we need to bring a client in, but before they are part of our team, they actually need to agree to a couple of things. So what we will do in that case is that we'll create a prospective client. And when we add a prospective client, this will send information to them via email. And as soon as they sign that, ShareFile will move them automatically from being a prospective client to the clients section. Okay, so to these. Now the prospective, once that happens, the prospective client isn't going to be a part of this any longer, and he'll move to client. So that will automate one step for you if you need one of your clients to agree to certain terms and conditions of your companies. Now, if you want to, for example, we're just going to do a little example here. Let's say we're just going to do, or we can actually do it with my friend Michael. And just going to put here a company share file. Oh, yeah, it already exists. We did try that before, right, Michael? Okay, just give me a sec. Okay, and we add this perspective. Oh, this one also exists. Okay, we'll have to remove that one first. But what I wanted to explain with this is that the section where you will be adding someone, where you will be sending information to this person, so the agreement they need to sign before they are actually allowed into the client section, will need to be done through a template. So for example, here, if we select this one person and we send the client agreement, we can create a template through this option. And with that template, you can just fill in the information again of what they need to agree with, and also the signature fields as we just saw it on the signature section. Once that is signed, that document will also be moved to the signature section. Okay, so that's it for prospective clients. Shared address book and personal address book, these are, quite self-explanatory. So these will be two different books that you have. One will be, where many people access, and one will be only for yourself. Okay, and then we've got distribution groups. Distribution groups will be where we can just bring, we can create a set of people that do need to access, for example, the same type of workload over and over, right? So you could say, well, anytime that I have to onboard a client, I do need a determined amount of people to know about this. So you would include those in the employees. Well, for example, I created this list of employees, but you could just create a new one, give it a name, and decide if you want to share it with everyone or not. And then again, that will become your personal or your shared address book, right? So yeah, that's what this will do. So automate that steps for you, and then recent welcome emails. This will be where we can, well, whenever we add someone to the account, there is an email that they will get asking them to set up their password initially and everything that it corresponds to their initial access. And you can just resend that email, select someone here from the group, and just add them, bring them in, and just put a custom message to that as well. Okay, those are some of the options you have here in the people section. Now on the settings part, we have personal and admin settings, but today I'm going to talk only about personal because we do have a separate webinar for admins, and I do recommend you definitely to attend that, as it can be of great help. So if anything, feel free to contact your customer success engineer, and he'll be more than glad to send you the link for the upcoming webinar so you can register for one of these. But for today's webinar, we're just going to touch, as the last topic, the personal settings. Okay, so this is where you can add information. So here I've got my picture. Again, your first and last name, the company. Here you can change your password as well, quite straightforward. And down here, you can also just add an alternate email. So, and this is good. This will, just give you a bit of added sense of added security in case you, for example, will maybe need to access it through a separate account of yours, right? So you can definitely add an alternate email there. And security threat notifications, you can enable those or disable them here as well. You can also be notified whenever there are multiple failed signing attempts, right? Any malware upload, that can be also just checked or unchecked here. Email notifications, how often do you want to be notified? So for example, what we were seeing here in the inbox, right? Someone has sent something to you, but you don't want to be getting a message every time someone sends something. So you can just decide to do that in real time, but you can also just do it every hour, once a day, right? You do have that possibility here. If you do, for example, have teams working around the globe, you can also just edit the language for what they use. You could be having any of these as your choice. And then what comes with that as well is, well, for example, the date format, right? You might have someone using the day before the month. You can just change that. Someone's preference might be 24 hours. They like avoiding misunderstandings like that, and that's an option that they can choose. And then time zone as well, to make that a bit more friendly. You can decide to receive bounce back emails or not. Those are the options that we have here on this section. We've got personal security. You can reset to set verification from here for yourself. You can enable that. So it'll give you an added layer of security. Change your security question right here. You do have your connectors as well. So if you have something connected, you will be able to see it here. Advanced connections, and then my apps and devices. So this will be what you have currently installed. So here, for example, if you go to the app section that want to touch quickly on that, so you will have apps for Windows, for example, ShareFile for Windows. So this will create a drive within your computer that will mirror whatever is here on your ShareFile instance. So you can definitely just leverage that, download this option and have it available to you. But also for Outlook, if you do use Outlook, you can download this plugin and have encrypted files directly from Outlook. So this is what this section will be referring to. Also the mobile app, we have that option for you to have the app downloaded on your mobile device, okay? And some third-party integrations as well, which we have lots of information on for Zapier, for example, QuickBooks, Salesforce. Yeah, feel free just to look into those and see how you can definitely leverage those options to your business advantage.